Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Today's the Thursday episode. You know, we got Haunting Adeline, baby. Haunting Adeline, baby. Today's chapters are 17 and 18. Oh boy, we about to get into the juice. I can't believe we're already damn near 18 chapters into this book already. Goodness, we've been flying through it. We did have an episode where we went like 4 chapters in, though. You know, that was my little Christmas present to you guys. You know what I mean? But without further ado, we're going to get through this thread. Then we'll do announcements. Then we'll hop into chapters 17 and 18. All right. So today's thread is, what's your worst sexual experience? Oh, baby. So let's see what you guys' worst sexual experience is. I was going down on a lady when suddenly I heard crunching. She was apparently unimpressed with my attentions, so she pulled out some cinnamon twists from the Taco Bell and started munching away. Damn. She was just sitting there with her legs up. She's like, "Are you done? You done yet? No? Okay, I'm just gonna..." Dude. As a dude, I don't know how to feel about that. I'd probably just be like, you know what? All right, I'm done. We're just gonna eat Taco Bell. I'm gonna go home, or I'm gonna send you out. Like, you know what I mean, dude? That would suck. That's why you gotta get good at that cuddlingus, my guy. Gotta get good. All right, what was your worst sexual experience? Boyfriend and I were going at it on a super old and rickety folding bed, and it folded on us like a piranha from the Mario Brothers. Damn, that has got to be crazy. You guys are just doing your thing, and I know the bed's just like... Oh, dude, that's a boner killer for sure. That is a coochie dryer for sure. Man... Oh, that would suck. All right, let's see. What was your worst sexual experience? Monica, okay? She'd knock on the door at midnight, strip down and be an absolute wild woman for 15 minutes. Then she'd break down and start crying about her dead ex-fiance. Worst 20 experience at this nigga, bro. Oh, man. He was just like, apart from the crying fiance bits right there, coochie was fire. What can I say? You know, like, yeah, she kept coming over. I mean, it's not my fault. Oh, man. All right. What was your worst sexual experience? One morning shortly after we got married, my wife and I were having some first thing in the morning fun, and our landline started ringing. We weren't about to stop, especially since 90% of the calls we got were telemarketers or people calling from the previous owner of the phone line. Well, our answering machine kicked in, and we heard my mother-in-law's voice informing us that my wife's grandfather had passed away overnight. Nothing quite kills a boner like hearing a family member just passed away. Damn, bro, that sucks. That sucks. Like, you just going at it, you're just heavy, you just, and then I know her, hey, just wanted to let you know the grandpa died last night, and you're just like, all right. I would just hope, maybe not, because he did say it was a boner killer, but I mean, you know, it's just like, she would just be like, finish, just finish, you know. I'd be like, all right, cool. we'll be sad in like 2 minutes. I got you. You know, like, come on, man. Like, don't ruin it. You ain't got to ruin the whole moment, you know. We could be sad. We could just push back the sadness just a little bit. Just push it back a little bit, you know. Sorry, Grandpa, but hey, we got to push it back a little bit. You know what I mean? Caught us at a bad time. All right, what was your worst sexual experience? She wanted to rub ice around my dick. I wasn't into it, but it seemed like a harmless kink to indulge. Then when the ice cube had melted to a sliver, she tried to poke it down my hole. Oh, Jesus, bro. No. No. See, that's where that ends. All right. You ain't putting nothing down my pee hole, man. That's crazy. That's crazy talk, bruh. That nah, you know what I mean? Like around, the head or whatever, the shaft and all that. Dude, cool, man. We could do all that. But down the pee hole, nah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening, G. You gonna have to evacuate at that point. Man, come on now. God, that'd be crazy. Either that or be like, am I putting ice in you? Yeah, we gonna do the other way around? That's what I thought. What was your worst sexual experience? Going through a breakup. I was at a party getting absolutely blind drunk, trying to forget my ex. I was being friendly with the girls at the party, but I didn't expect any of them to have any interest in me, as I was making it very obvious that I'm trying to black out as soon as possible. I throw up all over the garden, wash my mouth out with Jack Daniels, and as I'm going back inside, a girl starts making out with me. Yes, she did see me just spew up 30 minutes ago. I tell my mate, who is the host of the party. He says, all right, mate, bedtime for you, I think, and takes me away and puts me in my bed, or in a bed. Good friend. However, the horny woman spots me and is in the next room over. I think to myself, yes, I think sex is a good idea, and go jump in her bed. She immediately goes to work getting me hard, so I stick it in, barely do anything of use, and realize I'm way too drunk to achieve anything, and go to sleep mid-thrust. Too tired for this night. My man's just like, yeah, that's a good idea. Sex is a great idea right now. He goes over there and he's like, hey, what's up, girl? Oh, yeah. And then he gets it in there and he's like, oh no, I gotta keep going. You know what? I'm gonna go to bed. He just falls asleep on her, inside her. Like, what the fuck, nigga? All right, the next day I woke up. I realized there were two other people in the bed the whole time, one of which was my friend and the other was her friend. They explained that despite it being funny watching two drunk idiots try to fuck, we did completely cock block them. Oh, we didn't completely cock block them. So in total, I guess it was a shit experience for 4 people. Damn, that sucks, bro. That sucks. That's got to be mad weird. You know what I mean? And honestly, I'd be laughing too. I'd be laughing too if I saw, my homie. He's just like, I'm just gonna, you know what I mean? I would have asked him to. I'm like, did you nut? Or did you just fall asleep? Hey, because it looked like you kind of nutted, but I don't know. I couldn't tell. You know what I mean? And he's probably just like, yeah, of course I did. What we're talking about? Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm me, Hey, dude, that's crazy. What was your worst sexual experience? Tinder date. Older woman wanted kinky sex, lost control of her bowels, as suggested as much as it was unplanned, unwanted, and unwelcome. Goddamn. Damn, son. Oh, imagine if she was on top, too. Oh, and then she just doo-doos all over you, man. She's all like reverse cowgirl. Oh, no. Oh, imagine. She's reverse cowgirl. She just doo-doos all over your chest, man. Oh. And he's just like, what the fuck? Is this the kinky sex you were talking about? She's just like, oops. Oh, that would be all bad, bro. That'd be all bad. All right, what was your worst sexual experience? Back in college, it was a late night, and I was horny as hell. I ended up matching with this girl on Tinder who wasn't the best looking, but she was down to fuck immediately and was saying the dirtiest stuff, and I was like, what the hell, why not? This point in time, I didn't have a car, and my roommate was at the party, so I couldn't borrow his either. I had to bike through. The only problem was, due to how far she was, it would take me an hour to get there, and it was about 12:30 a.m. I didn't really want to do that, but my dick won the battle, so I sucked it up and hopped on the bike. I bike an hour there, and by the time I show up at her house, I'm out of breath and sweating like crazy, but I knock on her door, and the second she answers, she says, my son is asleep inside, let's go across the street. Okay, she leads me over to this elementary school that was directly across from her. She doesn't bring a blanket or anything, so we're literally sitting in the wet grass, and she just lays down and said, "Let's go." What the fuck, bro? Okay. So we got naked and I got on top of her, and her breath smells like cigarettes bad. And to make things worse, she's full on starfishing me and making me do all the work. She's laying there perfectly still, just moaning as loud as possible, and I'm thrusting. Away anxious someone's gonna hear us, but also just ready for this to be over because the cigarette breath is too much to handle. And then my legs start cramping up real bad, most likely because I was so tired from the bike. Facts. That bike had them cramping up. Oh man, that bike had them cramping up. Oh shit. I finally finished inside of her without a condom because I'm a dumbass. And she already got a kid, man. Damn. Trying to give her a second one. Let's see. So as soon as I do, she rolls me off, pulls out another cigarette and says, "Thanks, that was amazing," and gets up and walks back to her house without saying anything. Okay, I'm laying there in the grass with a cramped leg, grass stains, and full of nothing but shame. I finally get up and start biking back to my fucking front tire pops. Damn, bro. This man had an all bad night for some coochie, bro. It's crazy. I call my roommate who is still at the party, and I tell him what happened, and he immediately leaves and comes and picks me up. We throw my bike in his trunk, and he takes me to McDonald's to get some food, and then we go home. I stopped using Tinder after a while for that. Hey, man. Oh, at least your homie saved you, you know, because the whole tire popping is mad. Like, bro, come on, man. Out of all the times your tire could pop, it's this time. Like, god damn it. Oh, shit. That's funny as hell, though. Alright. What was your worst sexual experience? I tried to power through a toothy blowjob once. Man, if you don't sit there and tell her, hey, hold on, man, no teeth, bruh. Like, come on, bro. You don't just sit there and power through it. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you tell her. You like, hey, you know, it's like an ice cream. You don't put your teeth on it because, you know, it's too cold. You know what I mean? Tongue, girl, tongue, lips. Come on now. What are you doing? What was your worst sexual experience? Had sex with a German girl on a Spanish beach 20 years ago. Ditched the condom after it hit the sand. Fast forward 18 years, the doorbell rings, and I have a surprise daughter. Aw, damn, son. Okay, it was not the worst experience. She's actually wonderful. Yeah, I'm sure the daughter is wonderful, but I mean, god damn, son. That would be crazy 18 years later. I don't know. She's just like, hey, I'm your daughter. And you're like, wait, what? You're my what now? Like, oh, shit. All right. What was your worst sexual experience? Staying in a hotel with a girl. She was into rough stuff, and we were always pushing limits. She sat on the floor with her back against the hotel room wall and told me to fuck her face. I said she'd slap my butt hard when she wanted me to stop, but otherwise I was to really wreck her face. So I'm going as hard as I can, and then without even a faint tap on the butt, she projectile spews all over my cock and down my legs. Yo, she just throws up all over his. Oh, that's gotta suck. Standing in the shower, wiggling chunks of puke come from between my toes and picking out of my pubic hair was absolutely horrific. Totally not her fault, though. You play silly games, you win silly prizes. Dude, oh, I mean, I bet that was like so hot. The thought, he was just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be amazing. Yeah, this is gonna be awesome. Then without warning, she just, oh shit. That's why you gotta ask her, hey, do you have a gag reflex? You know what I mean? You know, oh damn, son, damn, that's tough. That's tough. Oh, all right. Hooked up with a coworker I was vibing with. This was the first instance I had with a woman who had perhaps watched too much porn. She was too rough with my schlong. She kept yanking on it as if it wasn't attached to me. So she would shake it and then smack it on me or her chin hard. She would then mutter some nasty shit and go at it again. I'm no prude, but I can deal with a little rough stuff, but that usually happens after a discussion and an agreement. I couldn't get through the abuse, and I faked like I forgot something important. My joint was sore for more than a week. Damn, bro. She was just abusing your mushroom tip. Hey, yo, hold up. Why are you abusing my shit? God dang, man. You gotta speak up for yourself and be like, hey, hold up. Just like the dude with the toothy blowjob. It's like, bro, speak up for yourself, my guy. Just speak up for yourself a little bit. Like, hey, man, you know? You could go hard, but not too crazy. Sheesh. You know? Golly, man. Ah, goodness. Go away. Oh, of course. Oh, yeah. Thank you. All right. What was your worst sexual experience? Got frisky with my then girlfriend in a car I borrowed from a friend, not in the parking lot, a friend in the parking lot of a closed shopping center. Not 10 seconds after insertion, there's a tap on the window from a very annoyed looking cop. Didn't even get a warning or a citation. He just shook his head at my poor girlfriend and said, "A Pontiac, man, are you serious? Get your damn pants on." Oh, damn. That sucks, dude. Oh, it's gotta suck. Hey, at least you didn't get a ticket or nothing. You know what I mean? That would have been even worse. You know, you just had some humiliation for a little bit. And you know, it's like, hopefully she didn't bag on you too much about it. You know, damn. All right, what was your worst sexual experience? Found out she was cheating while I was balls deep in her. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, that's crazy. All right. What was your worst sexual experience? Gave my ex head. He didn't wash properly. I gagged to the point of tears. Ended up with a throat infection. Oh, damn. Really? Throat infection. I never knew that. I never knew that. Okay. What was your worst sexual experience? Walked in on my now ex with my now former best friend. Damn. Damn, son. Damn. That was not your girl and that was not your best friend. Oh my God. That's crazy. Like, bruh. Ooh, and I don't want to say that I understand, you know, his side, but I'm sure he was just like, yo, them walls were forbidden. You know, like, all right, what was your worst sexual experience? Relationship was already sinking, but she was giving me head and I wasn't coming, and she generally got pissed at me for it. It took me a long time before I'd be able to come during sex. Oh, wait, what? Oh. All right, I mean, it was one of those things where he was just, I guess she wasn't that good at it. You know, and she got mad. Okay, hey. All right. Let's see. All right, what was your worst sexual experience? When I was about 18 years old, I went back to my old childhood neighborhood. Family moved to another state and ran across this girl still living there that remembered me from when we were kids. She then went full out slut on me. We went to a bedroom and she laid back and spread her legs. She wasn't wearing anything. I was so excited at the moment. I touched her and then I ejaculated and she got pissed off. I was still a virgin and never seen a real vagina before, let alone touch one. Damn. My man was just like, oh, he touched it and was just like, damn, man, that's crazy. That is wild. He's just, I guess it happens. You know what I mean? He's just like, no, wait, I hold on. Damn it, man. Oh, it's gotta suck, dude. Oh, it's gotta suck. What was your worst sexual experience? It was an amazing hand job. I was on my back. She used some oil, but her aim was terrible. A big glob shot right into my eye. Damn, son. She made you jizz in your own face. That's crazy. She was like, it ain't about to go in my face, motherfucker. And she's like, it's about to go in yours. Oh, damn, man. That's gotta suck. Oh, she made you shoot a nut in your face. That's crazy. Oh, God. That's funny as hell. All right, that's going to go ahead and be the end of that thread. I'm not going to do any more. I hope you guys enjoyed the thread. If you got any crazy sexual experiences that you've had, leave them down in the comments. Love to hear from them. Oh, goodness, that's funny. That is funny as hell. Oh, shit. All right, I'm going to shoot through announcements super fast so we can get into chapter 17 and 18 of Haunting Adeline. So, patreon.com/MyAssholePodcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday shows. If you're an audio listener, please download and rate the show. If you haven't rated the show, I know who you are. I can see it on my analytical app, who votes or who rates and who doesn't. And you know who you are if you haven't. You're coming back every week, whether it's for Haunting Adeline or the scenarios on Tuesday and Sunday. You might as well rate us 5 stars. It's 2 clicks. It's a click on the rating and then click on 5 stars. It's faux free. And if it's faux free, it's faux me. And if you want to help out even more on the free 99 side of things, go ahead and click the link tree down in the description and follow us on YouTube, Instagram, as well as TikTok. Helps the show out a lot. I appreciate you guys so much for all the support you guys have shown so far. Excited. This is the first episode of 2025, which is super awesome that it gets to be a Haunting Adeline episode. You guys love these episodes. These episodes ain't going anywhere into the new year. We're going to keep doing these, and we're going to keep doing books and all this good stuff. And you guys will be able to choose the next book. So if you guys have recommendations for the next book, please start putting them down in the comments now, so that way I can write them down. I can get them all down, and we can get into some more interesting books. And for me, I don't know a lot of these books, so you guys could surprise the hell out of me with something. You know what I mean? And surprise me with something juicy, and we might do it. So, again, let me know. All right. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into chapters 17 and 18 of Haunting Adeline.
Chapter 17. The Diamond. If it weren't for the collar wrapped around my throat, I'd consider swiping one of the guest's pocket knives and slipping out the back door, disappearing into the night. I'd cut the tracking device out of my neck and take off, uncaring if I'm wearing nothing to protect me from the elements. I'd rather die alone in the middle of the woods than at the hands of a sex trafficker. And Francesca knows that. She knows all of us would risk that. That's why simple black metal collars with a ruby pendant in the middle are currently dressing our throats, something she made very clear houses another tracking device, one that can't be removed without a key. The house is engulfed in distraction and glamour. So many men dressed to the nines with hundreds of thousands of dollars dripping from their icy wrists. So many opportunities to slip away unnoticed while eyes are turned. I never understood why the sickest of humanity go out of their way to appear the prettiest. You can throw glitter on a snake, but the bitch still bites.
You look beautiful.
A deep voice whispers in my ear from behind me. I startle, turning to find Xavier, a salacious grin on his face. Francesca ordered us to mingle with the men, so I've been camping out in the living room. Even with all the cleaning we did, the house still reeks of despair. Too much horror is caked into the crevices, and no amount of scrubbing will ever free this place of it. I force a smile, stepping away from him an inch and dipping my chin. Heat washes throughout my body, but not the kind that feels good. It feels like when you've got a stomach bug and are stuck in a car. The cold sweat is sickening. Thank you, I say, loosening my voice. His stare is intense as he sweeps my curves slowly, taking his time. Naturally, I want to drop kick him in the balls and run. I can only stand there and take it, though. Straight and tall, refusing to curl in on myself like he wants. It's the only defiance I can muster, other than grabbing the champagne flute in his hand and breaking it across his face. Relax, little mouse. He didn't catch me tonight, so he doesn't get to punish me. However, I have a dreadful feeling that Francesca will gladly allow this man to touch me regardless, which means I need to play nice.
You were incredible today, despite the little distraction that vile girl caused,
he says pleasantly. I can tell that he's trying to insert warmth into his presence, but it feels like sticking my hand into a fireplace that hasn't been used in centuries.
Though I must admit, the calling always seemed counterproductive to me,
He continues.
even if it is fun.
Clearing my throat softly, I ask, May I ask why? He grins, as if he sees straight through the thin facade.
It teaches you how to run away from us. It's been a tradition for centuries, but if you ask me, I'd prefer my women to be incapable of getting away.
I nod my head slowly. That makes sense, I admit. And really, it does. The culling is designed to test our endurance. I get that. If we're too weak and broken, we'll be lifeless little things, resulting in them constantly having to replace us. It's designed to break us mentally, spiritually, induce terror and hope of escape just to be dragged back again. Nonetheless, Xavier is right, too. It does teach us how to run. He takes a step closer to me, his woodsy cologne burning my sinuses as he invades my space. I want to tell him to get the fuck out of my no-no square, but I can't imagine that going over well. Try as I might, I can't stop my limbs from stiffening and my shoulders from hiking up an inch. My fingers twitch with the need to curl into fists, but I refrain.
Tell me, Adeline, would you run for me if I made you mine?
God, yes. I'd run until my feet were worn down to the bone. Even then, I'd still run. Of course not, I answer, keeping my voice quiet. He chuckles, a mixture of amusement and condescension. Hot breath fans across the side of my face as he leans in close, his coarse beard scraping against the shell of my ear.
You wouldn't be able to, even if you wanted to,
he whispers.
You wouldn't be able to stand. Your legs would be shaking too badly from how hard I fuck you.
A hand drifting across my backside accompanies his words. I close my eyes, searching for the strength to not tremble beneath his touch, to not run the hell away from him and pray to the she-devil above that he never finds me.
Does that sound good, Diamond? Do you think you'd even remember Z after I'm done with you?
My eyes snap open, and red clouds my vision. This time I do tremble, but only from rage. God, I need you right now. I need you to bestow whatever voodoo shit you got up your sleeve, so I don't fucking murder this man. He leans back, his cold gaze searching my face for a reaction. I look away, incapable of keeping the fire from my eyes, and firmly keep my mouth shut. What the fuck does he expect me to say to that? Yes, pedo master. I would forget all about Zaid and only think of you and your small, puny cock. Fuck out of here, dickhead. He grunts out another sound of amusement, and I bite the inside of my cheek until the taste of copper fills my mouth. And then I bite harder.
Answer me.
He clips. No, I whisper, casting my gaze down to conceal the lie. I think it would be very difficult to think of anything else but you. And how much I want to kill you.
Yeah?
He asks, his voice hitching with excitement. Yeah, I squeak, right as his hand roughly grips my ass, jerking me deeper into his broad chest. My muscles tighten impossibly further, feeling his length digging into my stomach. Revulsion twists my insides, and I swear it'll be some form of justice if I just allow the vomit to spew right in his face. He rolls his hips into me, and just as I'm reaching my snapping point, someone clears their throat loudly from behind me. Xavier releases me, and I take a few steps away, immediately correcting my disheveled dress from his groping. When I risk a glance up, I find Rio standing beside me, hands linked behind his back and a neutral expression on his face.
Excuse my intrusion,
he says, bowing his head for a moment.
I'm required to change the dressings on her back before the event. It's also time for you to head into the Red Room,
he informs, his tone clinical but pleasant. Xavier straightens his jacket, casting me a look I refuse to meet. It burns the side of my face as he dips his chin in acknowledgement before taking off. Flicking my eyes to Rio again, he nods his head towards the kitchen entryway, which leads back toward a bathroom. Still shaking, I follow in step, hoping I'm not too unsteady and roll my ankles in these heels. Francesca would probably reopen my stitches herself from a stupid mistake like that. Even after we enter the bathroom, we keep quiet and he shuts the door behind us. My shoulders relax a smidge now that we're alone. I wonder when Rio started feeling safe. But I'll admit I'm grateful. He's not an ally by any means, but he's the least of my enemies in this fucking house. What the hell is the Red Room? I question. Rio glances at me.
A room in the back of the house full of tarp and torture devices. I'm sure you can conclude why they've dubbed it the Red Room.
He answers dryly. I swallow. Are they taking Phoebe and Bethany back there? I ask.
Yes, it's only used for those who failed at calling.
My chest clenches and my stomach twists. They're doing unspeakable things to them right now, and that makes me fucking sick.
Turn around,
he demands. I narrow my eyes, not appreciating the way he's ordering me around. Noting the look on my face, he sighs and says,
Por favor.
Flattening my lips, I turn. Why did you save me, anyway? I ask quietly, peeking over my shoulder to watch him dig out the first aid kit from beneath the sink and set it on the yellowed countertop. I'm sure they were white back in their heyday.
What makes you think I saved you?
He counters, glancing at me as he digs out bandages and Neosporin.
You're going to have to lift up your dress.
I sigh, doing as he asks. I know the drill with him, and this isn't the first time I've had to expose my body so he can change the bandages. I hike the dress up underneath my armpits, and it makes me sad how desensitized I've become to baring myself to men. I'm wearing a thong, but that might as well be nothing with how scrappy it is. Slowly, he unlaces the corset, and with each loop undone, I can breathe a little easier. When it falls from my torso, I suck in a deep breath, the bliss almost painful. My stomach is red and indented from how tightly Francesca laced it. You have to relace that, you know, I tell him. He grunts.
Then you better be nice. I can make that tighter than she did.
A shiver rolls down my spine when his fingers brush against me, picking at the tape until he catches the edge and peels the old bandages from my skin. So, you're going to act like needing to change these wasn't intentional? I prod. You just changed them before the party, which was only 2 hours ago.
Would you like me to leave you next time?
He volleys back, his tone tight and a tad impatient. No, I whisper.
Then accept it for what it is and shut the fuck up about it.
I snap my mouth closed. This time I have no problem listening to his demands. Regardless of him wanting to admit it, he saw Xavier getting handsy and stepped in. Something that is very unlike a human trafficker to do. I'd rather just be grateful for the intrusion than question him. And then he never does it again. Lord fucking knows this won't be the last time a man will get too handsy, and that knowledge makes my skin crawl. Rio is the reason I'm in this situation to begin with, or at least one of the reasons. He played a massive role in it, and that's something I'll never forget. But I also won't forget the little bits of kindness he showed me when he'll soon be facing the barrel of Zaid's gun. I don't know if I can spare his life, but I'll try to make sure his death is quick. Clearing my throat, I wet my dry lips. Are you going to help Phoebe and Bethany too? He sighs.
I can't help them.
I snarl. So that's it? You're going to stand by and do nothing while 2 innocent girls are being raped and tortured? He doesn't answer immediately, and it seems I've managed to strike a nerve.
That's who I am, baby. A bad, bad man with no remorse.
Liar. If he felt no remorse, we wouldn't be in this bathroom right now, cleaning a wound that didn't need it. Why do you do it? I ask in a whisper, hissing when the alcohol hits a sore spot. Is it for the money? He scoffs.
I don't give a shit about money. Can't take it with me when I'm dead, so what good is it to me?
Then why? I push. He sighs, ripping open a fresh package of gauze.
You're not the only one who's enslaved to powerful people.
He clips shortly, his tone signaling the end of this conversation, but I don't listen. Zaid is going to kill you, and you know this. So if you know you're going to die anyway, then why continue? He slaps a strip of tape on me a bit harshly, growing frustrated with my needling.
Puñeta, how about you use that pretty little head of yours and figure it out?
He snaps, his accent deepening with anger.
If someone doesn't stay for their own life, what else could make them stay?
My face drops as realization dawns. They're using someone against you. I breathe. Family?
My little sister.
He grumbles.
As long as I'm a good boy, she won't be sold.
A knot forms between my brows. Why not just take off with her and run?
Because I can't take her. They have her, and I can't get to her, comprende? You done playing 20 questions, or should I tell you about how I lost my virginity, too?
I clamp my mouth shut. He's given me more than enough. It's not fair of me to keep pushing. Rio finishes up, placing fresh gauze over my stitches.
These are about ready to come out,
he says, stepping back to discard the trash and put away the kit. Then he bends and grabs the corset, fashioning it back around my waist and quickly tying it up, leaving it considerably looser than Francesca did. Once he's finished, I release my dress, fixing it as an awkward silence compresses the air around us. Thank you, I say quickly, the words burning my tongue on the way out. He glances at me.
Don't thank me yet, Princessa.
He opens the door and exits the bathroom without another word, leaving me to my own devices. My heart pounds, not liking how fucking ominous that sounded. Then his excuse to Xavier smacks me over the side of the head. I need to change her dressings before the event. What fucking event? Didn't we already have one? Isn't this the after-party to the event? Dread replaces the marrow in my bones, and as I walk out of the bathroom and back toward the living room, I realize the culling was only a preliminary event. A few men linger in the corners of the living room, drinking and laughing, looking every bit unconcerned with life. And the girls are gathered in the center, shoulders high and eyes cast down. With the exception of Sydney, of course, she wears her defiance on her sleeves, directly meeting the gazes of all the onlookers and even going as far as to smile at them. I stand beside Jillian and keep my voice as low as possible as I ask, "What's happening?" Her eyes flicker to me, and I note how ashen her skin is. "The worst part of the entire night," she whispers back. Anxiety mingles with the dread, merging in my system until I'm nothing but a ball of frayed nerves. Is this what she was trying to tell me to prepare for in the woods? Just as I open my mouth to ask more questions, loud screaming reaches my ears. My teeth click and then grind when the sound gradually increases. My heart pounds and my palms sicken. That's Phoebe and Bethany. And whatever is about to happen, it's bad. Really fucking bad. I grow nervous and fidgety, confused about what's happening, but still desperate to never find out. Yet they're screeching heads straight for us, almost painful to the ears. 2 men are dragging them in by their hair, completely naked and bloodied beyond recognition. Since Ben is dead, the one handling Phoebe has thick black hair and a beard, appearing just as ruthless as his partner's. And the one handling Bethany is a skinny, older man with thin lips and glasses. I barely manage to stifle a gasp, incapable of feeling anything outside of horror and panic. Jillian and Gloria shift uncomfortably, both on the verge of tears. Sydney watches them with cool detachment, even as they're tossed at our feet. Phoebe and Bethany lay there, nearly lifeless. Vomit climbs further up my throat, glimpsing the mutilation they've suffered. I have to look away, physically unable to stomach it. Limbs and skin are missing. Pieces of their body have been cut and completely removed. Blood steadily pools beneath them, the puddle growing larger until it begins to seep beneath our feet.
They're all yours, girls,
the black-haired man announces proudly, heaving from the exertion and excitement. Blood paints their clothing, and while everyone's eyes are alit with excitement, these 2 in particular look like they're riding a high, most likely from torturing 2 young girls. Their slacks are still undone, shirts unbuttoned and hair ruffled. Sweat drips from the tip of the black-haired man's nose, while the other has pit stains marring his white shirt. I take in all these details with wide eyes, my brain slow to process what's going on. Francesca walks in a moment later, staring down at the girls with her lip curled. Then she trains her gaze on us, appearing calm and collected. She's seen so much, done so much. Does nothing faze her anymore? "Thank you, gentlemen, for bringing them in here," Francesca says kindly. Gloria breaks first, turning and slapping a hand over her mouth. Tears stream from her eyes as she gags beneath her palm. A fire lights in Francesca's eyes, her head whipping towards the mousy girl. "Don't you dare vomit on my floor, little girl. I will cut your tongue from your mouth," she hisses, her makeup cracking from the tension in her face. Gloria nods her head, though her face is green and she's still on the precipice of losing it altogether. All I can do is chant to myself over and over not to puke and completely lose my shit. Francesca approaches, making sure to keep her precious heels out of the blood. She stares at us with an unreadable expression. "You will take them outside, and you will put them out of their misery." My eyes widen, and Sydney giggles from beside me. It takes effort not to whip my hand out and slap her in the mouth. "What do you mean?" The question slips out before I can stop it, and I feel instant regret when all eyes turn to me. "It means," Francesca snarls through gritted teeth, "that you will end their miserable existence. And then you will dig their graves and hope to God that you aren't next." Chapter 18. The Diamond. My thoughts are running through mud. I'm slow to process her words, even as Rocco and one of his friends break through the crowd of guests and scoop up the girls in their arms before heading for the door. My mouth is hanging open, speechless and horrified as I watch the other girls slowly begin to follow after them. This isn't real. This can't be real. But when I meet Francesca's golden brown eyes, blank and dull, I realize that there's no escaping this nightmare. "Go," she mouths. Blinking, my body follows her command and heads toward the door, but I can't feel it. It's an out-of-body experience. I'm only capable of watching myself go through the motions. My feet carry me down the porch steps into the back of the house where the bonfire still rages, the flames licking the frigid air. Flickers of orange light lash across the night sky, clouds of smoke curling up from the orange glow. Guests pour out of the house behind me, their excitable chattering rising above the crickets. The air has a pulse to it, thrumming with anticipation and glee, but that's all wrong. 2 girls are dying tonight, yet all that coats my tongue is the rapture of their glorious deaths. Phoebe and Bethany are thrown to the ground, their wails heightening from the impact. Tension lines the muscles in my legs, weighing me down and making it nearly impossible to line up with the other 3 girls in formation. We stand before them, various emotions clogging the space between us. Resignation and enthusiasm from Jillian and Sydney, respectively, but Gloria and I look at each other absolutely petrified for what's to come. Francesca stands on the other side of the bonfire, deep shadows and bright red accentuating her features, a demon risen from hell. "These girls were deemed unworthy in the culling," Francesca announces loudly. The men quieten, and I imagine it's the only time they've been inclined to shut up and listen to a woman speak. "For centuries, we've carried on this tradition. In our world, only the strongest can survive, only those who can endure and persevere no matter what we throw their way. These girls standing before you, they are worthy of you, and they will prove their worth to you by snuffing out those that were not good enough." Francesca's dark eyes turn to us expectantly, but all I can do is stare. I see Rocco advance towards us, large stones in his hands. Sydney grabs for hers quickly, nearly vibrating with delight. He stares down at me with expectation, a delighted look on his face. Reluctantly, I grab a rock, surprised by how heavy it is. Jillian and Gloria grab for theirs, quivering hands curling over hard stone. A tear drips down Gloria's cherub cheeks. Noticing it, Rocco leans down, grabs her by the cheeks and licks her tears, his disgusting tongue sliding up the entirety of her face. She squeals in response and Rocco snickers darkly.
"Show me one more tear, little girl. I'll be happy to throw you down next to them."
"Don't make me do this," she pleads quietly, barely above a whisper. Her entire body is quaking in his palms.
"Do you prefer to be the one throwing the stone or to be the one beneath it? Choose now."
She squeezes her eyes shut and nods her head, accepting her fate silently. Pleased, Rocco forcefully pushes her away and stands beside Francesca, chest puffed and hands clasped behind his back, as if he's a soldier, honoring the death of his comrade. A black hole swirls in my chest, eating up anything good left inside of me. I glare at the duo, the fire in my eyes fiercer and brighter than the one before me. I can't decide which I'm more eager to kill, him or his sister. A collective silence ensues, the energy thick and heavy. Not even a cricket chirps, as if the wildlife can feel the tension too. Sydney breaks first, cocking her arm and hitting Phoebe with the rock on her shoulder, directly over one of her wounds. A savage cackle echoing in the air. I wince, my horror growing as she swings mindlessly. Phoebe's cries reach my ears mere seconds later, and finally I react on instinct. I push Sydney to the side, ignoring her outraged wail when she lands awkwardly on her hand holding the rock. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Jillian and Gloria kneel, raising their hands and bringing the rock down on Bethany's head, attempting to give her a quick death. Adrenaline pumps through my veins, and my heart races. I quickly roll Phoebe to her side, blurring out her extensive injuries. Sydney clambers to her knees, rushing toward the both of us with murder in her eyes. Growling, I whip my rock directly at her head, ignoring Francesca's sharp gasp as the rock strikes true, knocking the crazy bitch out cold. Turning my attention back to Phoebe, I carefully gather her in my arms, cradling her head in the juncture of my shoulder and curling myself over her. "I will not let you suffer," I whisper in her ear, desperately and rushed. A hot tear breaks free, burning a path down my cheek. "You saved me, Phoebe. You were so fucking strong and brave, and you will always be my hero. Do you hear me?" I hear you." She chokes, sobs, racking her chest. Inhaling deeply, I lunge for a branch in the pit, barely feeling the flames licking at my flesh. Rocco rushes towards me, but it's too late. I'm jabbing the sharp tip of the branch deep into her jugular. Phoebe convulses beneath me, blood pouring from her neck in rivulets. I hold on to her tightly, but I cannot say the same for my shattering soul. A sob bursts from my throat, and I press my forehead against hers, hardly feeling the blood soaking my skin. Tears of sorrow and rage track down my cheeks, and all I can do is just squeeze her harder, rocking us back and forth as she dies in my arms. "Sleep, Phoebe," I whisper against her, my voice cracking. "Go to sleep now." Nearly as quickly as it began, she stills, but I can't let her go. I weep into her lifeless body, battling with relief that she's no longer suffering and despair that she had to die at all. Someone's daughter died today, and all I can hope is that whoever loved her will forgive me for being the one to take her from them. 2 months later. I twirl the tube of red lipstick until it's completely exposed. Carefully, I apply it to the bow of my top lip, taking great care to stay within the lines. Then I move to my bottom lip before rubbing them together and popping them. I stare at my reflection, hardly recognizing the person staring back at me. Black circles rim the underside of my eyes, and I remind myself to put extra concealer there before I meet with Xavier tonight. He only likes to see how exhausted I am after he fucks me. I haven't been placed up for auction yet. Francesca says I'm almost ready, and that when the time comes, Xavier will ensure he is the highest bidder. It's unofficially official that he will be my master. Because of this, Francesca has allowed him to visit me once a week for the past month. Tonight will be the 4th night that we spend together. Afterwards, I'll curl up into a ball while Rio cleans me up. Xavier gets off on drawing blood, and now that I'm essentially spoken for, he's allowed to mark me. Within reason, Francesca says, but honestly, what's reasonable about any of this? I hold the lipstick up and wonder if it's the color of my blood that excites Xavier or the feel of his knife breaking past that weak barrier of skin. I drop my hand and meet my caramel eyes in the mirror. When's the last time I genuinely smiled? The last night I was with Zaid, I think. How long ago was that? I believe it's January now, and the last time I saw him was not too long after Satan's affair. I've missed my first holidays with him. Thanksgiving and Christmas and maybe his birthday, although I don't even know when that is. My New Year's kiss was Xavier's dick down my throat, and if I didn't have a desire to kill myself before, I did then. What had Zaid said to make me grin? He had said something ridiculous, but I can't recall what it was anymore. I do remember him laughing when I struggled for a response, and I remember my traitorous lips tipping up as much as I tried not to. I wish I never suppressed my smiles with him, because now I don't know if I'm capable of one anymore. The muscles in my face twitch as I force the corners of my mouth up, stretching it wide and baring all of my teeth. Despite how hard I try, it doesn't reach my dead eyes. It's unnatural, awkward, terrifying. I smooth out my face, contemplating how I can smile again. "Duh, Addie," I whisper. "You know how to do it." I lift the lipstick and place it on the corner of my lip and draw it out across my cheek, curving it up towards my eyes. Then the other side until a big red smile is painted across my face. The Joker had the right idea, I decide. Feeling slightly better, I cap the tube and let it roll across the floor. Heavy footsteps travel down the hallway and toward my room. My heart speeds up, and I wonder if Francesca will let me keep my smile, just for a night. But the second she walks up behind me and spots what I did, her eyes widen. Her hand flies out and smacks into the side of my head, sending me toppling over. "What is wrong with you?" she hisses. I brush the strands of my hair out of my face, looking up at her outraged expression. "I'm sorry, Francesca," I say quietly. "I just wanted to smile." She huffs. "You need to keep it together. I don't need another fucking Sydney on my hands. You are mere weeks away from being sold off, Diamond. Don't you dare ruin this for me." I frown and nod my head, apologizing again. It looks funny with my face painted the opposite. "Wipe that shit off and get ready. Xavier will be here in 10 minutes. Sad. No smiles for me tonight. A deep, shuddering breath fans across my face, his excitement growing as the sharp bite of metal digs into my stomach. He hasn't broken skin yet, though my pain receptors are screaming at me like he has.
I want to see you covered in red, Diamond.
Xavier whispers from above me, his hard length poised at my entrance. I am covered in red. He's made so many cuts around my body that I've turned the white bedsheets scarlet. It's never enough for him. A whimper falls past my lips when I feel him push inside of me, and my gag reflex threatens to spew bile all over him. There's nothing in my stomach. Francesca doesn't allow me to eat much on the days he visits. She says that she doesn't want me to get bloated.
You like feeling me, don't you, baby?
I screw my eyes shut and nod, though it's the furthest from the truth. He invades my body like a parasite would, an unwelcome tenant that leeches from my life force to feed his own. The sharp point of his knife finally breaks skin, and his blade glides across my stomach, drawing out a sharp yelp. Blood bubbles from the wound, and he moves his hips faster in response.
Fuck, that's so pretty.
He groans, breathlessly. A tear slips past my eye, and I pray he's too distracted to notice. He only cuts me deeper when I cry. He wants me to writhe beneath the piercing metal and get off on the pain as he does. He wants me to enjoy this. And when he sees that I'm not, it makes him angry. He says I just need to get used to it. I just need to adjust. But I don't know how anyone could get used to being sliced open like a fucking pig. Another cry leaves my lips when he finds a new spot and starts applying pressure. Slowly, as if he's giving me time to get accustomed. I'd rather he just get it the fuck over with, but I think he knows that. He thrusts harder, causing his knife to slip and cut me deep. Pinching my eyes shut, I inhale sharply. Xavier shudders while my soul cracks. I don't think Xavier plans to keep me for long. How could he when I will eventually bleed out?
Once I take you home with me,
he pants.
I'm going to drink that fucking blood, dine on it at all hours of the day.
My stomach revolts, and I nearly gag again. The picture he's painting in my head is vile and disturbing. He might as well declare himself a cannibal or an aspiring vampire. Noting the aberrance twisted into my features, he snarls and moves his blade to my throat.
This vein right here, one little slice and I could drink from you until you're nothing more than a wilted corpse. Do you want that?
Yes. God, please let me die, here and now, and I'll be fucking happy. No, I choke out, my voice tight with pain. I wouldn't dare tell him to do it because then he won't. Xavier would never go as far as to give me what I actually fucking want, especially because he knows it isn't him.
Then tell me you want me.
He demands, as if hearing my thoughts. I want you. I immediately echo, though it rings hollow. He wants to claim a place in my heart, but that place is a vacuum of emptiness that he will never be capable of filling. He snarls, hearing the vacancy in my voice, and buries himself inside me, though if he thinks he's deep, I'd hate for him to see the size of Zaid. The only reason his cock will ever cause me pain is purely because it's attached to him. Working to swallow, I suck my trembling lip between my teeth. Maliciousness sprouts in his blue eyes, and it's like watching him pull a black coat over them, the bright color shrouded beneath the darkness. His hand travels down the planes of my stomach, pausing to dig his thumb into a wound and wring a cry from my throat, before continuing down. He swirls his fingers over my flesh in a taunting manner, an evil smirk curling his lips. There's a little sponge in my windpipe, collecting hatred like water and swelling until my throat is hermetically sealed. Lightly, he brushes across my center, his eyes sparkling as his fingers find that spot that has my muscles tensing. Oh, God. I breathe, more tears burning the backs of my eyes. I hate that spot, yet another thing he's aware of. His eyes blaze, excitement radiating from him.
Tell me again.
He orders, his voice dipped in sin. I close my eyes, imagining a scarred face with devilish yin-yang eyes grinning at me from beneath his hood. Working to swallow, I rasp out, I want you. It takes effort not to crack when I hear him groan. It's all wrong. He sounds wrong. He feels wrong. He's just fucking wrong. He smiles when he hears it and rubs harder.
Say my name, Diamond.
He demands. I set my jaw in response. I'll never say it. Never. He's been trying since he started visiting, and every effort has been wasted. When I keep my mouth firmly glued shut, he starts thrusting again while continuing to stimulate me. My body tenses, a traitorous feeling congregating in the pit of my stomach. Still, I keep silent, refusing to relinquish more than I already have. Xavier thinks I've given him nothing, but that's not true. I've given him everything. He just finds no value in what he's taken from me. The smooth, unmarked skin he mutilates, the fragments of my sanity that chip away with every brush of his skin, and every whispered omen of the day I will be his. My ability to touch and be touched without wanting to slip my throat open, my dignity, self-esteem, and the comfort within my body. My fucking worth. All meaningless. Because what he really wants is every broken piece of my soul, and for me to cherish every broken piece of his. But my soul is already spoken for, already claimed by a wicked man with every intention to keep it to himself. And I suppose he's given me his in return. I'm just not sure what the fuck to do with it now.
You'll say it one day, Diamond. You have the rest of your life with me.
He promises. My legs clench around his hips as he fucks me harder, bending down to drag his tongue across my nipple. I grit my teeth, the bile rising in my throat.
This is mine.
He groans.
All of this is mine.
His teeth close over the abused peak, biting until my vision blackens with agony and a scream is tearing from my throat. Even then, he doesn't relent. Not until blood leaks through the cracks of his teeth and I'm begging for the knife instead. What a tragedy. Finally, he releases me, a smear of crimson staining his bottom lip. His eyes are dilated as he pumps his hips faster, his ministrations on my clit quickening. Gradually, it pulls me away from the fire lancing through the peak of my breast. I inhale sharply, a staccato breath full of sorrow. The orgasm ravages my body, and oh look, there it goes. Another piece of my sanity.
I'm getting really tired of looking at fucking Neosporin.
Rio says from behind me. Xavier just left for the night. He was particularly brutal, slicing over the healed scars on my back and all across my breasts and stomach. He pushes it a little farther every time. They said the culling is designed to weed out those who have endurance, who can survive anything. But I'm not sure I'll survive another night with him. Sorry, I mumble, too exhausted to snap at him. My eyes are pinned on the dozens of tally marks carved into the nightstand, and it's only depressing me more.
You giving up, Princessa?
He sighs, dropping the first aid kit on the bed. He started calling me that after the culling, now sounding more like an endearment than an insult. Francesca never did relieve him of taking care of me, and neither of us have bothered to stop it. It will never be said aloud, but I think we both find solace in one another. What do you care? I grouse, training my eyes on the wall. He grabs a few paper towels and lightly pads the wounds on my back, soaking up the blood. They just started to scab over from the last time. Turns out, Francesca didn't need to be worried about my scars from the car accident. I got lucky enough to find someone who happens to enjoy the sight of them, and then some. I'm still completely nude, but I've grown accustomed to being naked in front of men, considering it happens all the fucking time now. All because I live with a psycho bitch. Sydney was particularly pissed about me knocking her out the night of the culling, so she attempted to cut off my hair with scissors in retaliation. Luckily, Jillian stepped in and she only earned herself a punishment. Since then, she has made it her personal mission to frame me for the stupidest shit any chance she gets. Drawing on the walls like a toddler, breaking dishes, dropping food, and ruining clothing in the beauty room. Most of the time, I think Francesca knows it wasn't me, but she's grown tired of the incessant squabbling and takes it out on both of us now. Sydney is happy to accept her fate as long as I'm suffering too. I've accepted the punishments, though, which always result in a night with Rocco and his friends. I tried to defend myself at first, but it never made a difference.
Lucky for you, these have to heal, so no more nights with him until he's officially paid for you.
I glance at him, surprised by that. Francesca hadn't told me, but I'm relieved anyway. Sometimes he gives me information he's not supposed to. I've never questioned why, too scared he'll stop if I do. After he told me about his sister, we've fallen into an easy camaraderie. Both of us chained to our woes and accepting that neither of us can help one another get out of the metal confines wrapped around our wrists. I shrug. Doesn't make a difference. The others will still have their fun. Want to take a crack at me next? I ask dryly. Normally I'd be horrified by saying that to someone, but I feel nothing. Rio chortles.
I have no interest in you.
No? Not any of the others either? I remember Sydney attempting to get a rise out of me, claiming Rio was sneaking into her bedroom at night. I hadn't cared then, and I wouldn't care now. Regardless, I'm almost positive she was lying. Rio has had every opportunity to fuck me or one of the other girls, yet I've never seen him lay a finger on anyone outside of what was necessary. In the beginning, he deliberately made me uncomfortable, but he hasn't even done that since he first kidnapped me. Now, he acts as if I don't exist when in the company of others. One day, I had asked him why. Why the initial cruelty and the silence around people, and then be so different when we're alone? He stared dead into my eyes and said, "The men in this house search for weaknesses. I never want to be yours." He presses particularly hard on a cut, drawing a hiss from between my teeth.
No, now shut up or I'll leave your wounds to fester.
I snort, but leave him alone. His threats run hollow now, and we both know I'm not scared of him anymore, and I think we both know he doesn't want me to be either. Francesca said, "Weeks until I'm his." How many? I ask, my voice still hoarse from my time with the man in question.
3.
I close my eyes and nod my head, gritting my teeth when he cleans another sore spot.
New girls are coming in next week.
Rio continues. How many? I whisper.
3. Plenty of room now that it's just you and the loco one.
My heart pangs from the reminder. Gloria and Jillian were sent off to auction a week ago, leaving Sydney and me alone with each other. After the night we were forced to end Phoebe and Bethany's lives, our training became more intense. Just because we were considered worthy doesn't mean there still wasn't an opportunity for us to fail. Francesca put us through grueling etiquette classes. How to address our masters, how to speak, eat, and sexually service them. They're specifically designed to break us mentally. We were whipped, raped, and starved if we made mistakes. And just like the night of the culling, we were forced to punish each other. By the time those two girls were auctioned, we could barely stand one another. Even after Jillian and Gloria were successfully sold, the grueling lessons haven't let up. The bruises have faded and the stitches have been removed, leaving 2 large white lines marring my back. Yet, Francesca wouldn't allow for me and Sydney to be auctioned. And still, I have no idea why. Although I'm spoken for, Francesca is still required to follow protocol. I have to stand on a stage and others will be given a chance to bid on me. It's just guaranteed that Xavier will win. He's one of the richest men in the world, he claims, not even sure what he does for a living or if he's even a citizen of the country, but I suppose it doesn't matter. Despite what Rio thinks, I am never going to give up. I have no plans of skipping off into the sunset with Xavier, but I do plan on letting him take me out of here. They've made it their mission to keep me exhausted, compliant, and ignorant. I haven't been outside these walls since the culling. Haven't felt the sun warming my cheeks or the snow on my tongue. They're scared of Zaid and what he can do, so the safest bet is to keep me holed up, never to see the light of day. 3 weeks. That's when Xavier will have no choice but to take me out of this house and risk Zaid finding me. And that's when I will do everything in my power to make sure he does. Rio finishes bandaging my back before rolling me over and moving on to the wound on my stomach next, keeping his eyes fixed on his task. Not even a peek at a nipple. "Try not to miss me when I'm gone," I murmur, staring up sightlessly at the ceiling. I feel him glance up at me before focusing back on a particularly deep wound. He'll need a butterfly bandage for that one.
"I'll pray your life is short,"
he responds, finally. I smile. The first real one in months. Turns out I didn't need that red lipstick after all. That was sweet of him to say. Francesca's footsteps pound down the hallway, but Rio and I don't bother moving considering he still has a few wounds to clean. I meet her stare when she breaches the doorway. For a brief moment, she glances down at my body, an unreadable emotion in her eyes. "Do I look pretty, Francesca?" "Finish cleaning her up quickly, Rio." He stops and tips his chin over his shoulder to look at her, her face cast in a severe expression. "Claire's here, and she wants to speak with her." January 2022. When people think of New Year's Eve, they imagine who they're going to kiss when the ball drops. Mine was spent with a stranger's lips all over my body and his dick in places they have no right to be. There was a moment that I felt relief when Francesca first told me Xavier would be visiting me once a week. Now, after the second time he's come to see me, I can't imagine why. He's crueler than Rocco and his friends. They just aim to get their rocks off, but Xavier draws out my pain until I'm a sobbing mess. I hate that he makes me cry. It makes me feel weak and powerless. Even worse, it makes him angry. He wants me to enjoy it, and the last thing I will ever do is fucking enjoy what he does to me. And while he digs his knife into my skin, staring at me closely, anticipating the moment I break, I picture all the ways I could make him bleed. That isn't the worst thing he's done to me. No. He can't be a normal rapist and worry about his own pleasure. Shit, that's most of the male population as is. Instead, he made it his goal to make me orgasm too. He succeeded, and it made me want to die.
All right. And that is chapters 17 and 18. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And boy, story progressing. It's progressing a little slowly than normal, but we're definitely getting a big insight into what's going on, like behind the scenes with everything that these organizations are doing that Zaid is trying to stop. I was hoping we were going to get a Zaid chapter this one, because man, I can't wait till this man busts in and fucking destroys everybody. I cannot wait for that chapter. That chapter is going to be so good, but we're not there yet. We'll be back next week, though, with chapters, I believe, 19 and 20. So be there or be square. You know how it is. I love you guys all. I'll see you on Friday if you're on Patreon, and I'll see you on Tuesday if you're a free 99 guy. I love you all, and peace.